Chances are, if you've seen this video, you've seen my other video commenting on the 2D style that's been leaked regarding My Little Pony Generation 5. This video is going to be covering something much more important than how the show looks, however. No, I'm not going to be ripping apart our beloved Gen 4 ponies and the people who created a show that created a completely unexpected, passionate, and creative audience. I have great respect for the generation that brought us all together in the first place. Moving forward with MLP Gen 5, there are a few things that I'm going to ask that Hasbro pay particular attention to, especially if they hope to keep this fandom healthy and growing. Generation 5 has been advertised as wanting to address some real-life moral issues, with their audience trained on older children and youth. They did a pretty dang decent job with it when they approached FIM, but there were some key ingredients missing, especially after Lauren Faust left, that I think could have the potential to take Gen 5 to the next level. Granted, it's never easy when a franchise, much less an entire story, transfers from one set of hands to another, but I think the process could have gone much smoother if a fleshed out blueprint had been in place other than just a corporation wanting to sell toys. This isn't to say that the writers only had this in mind, just that the people that the writers were ultimately working for may have missed an opportunity that not only could have been more profitable for them, but also would have cemented a fan base that would last for decades to come, and sold the parents on the My Little Pony franchise as well as the kids. So, here are the 5 things I would like to see Hasbro focus more on moving forward. In K.M. Whalen's blog, Helping Writers Become Authors, this best-selling author lays out how to create plots that not only capture an audience's attention, but helps create long-lasting fans and fandoms. She lays out character arcs, where to place each plot point, and tells us exactly how to create relatable moments that last forever with her readers. When FIM first started, I feel like Lauren Faust knew and applied these principles. If you watch the first 2 episodes in Season 1, you can clearly see the way she hooks her viewers, introduces her world, makes us care about her characters, and gives an incredible villain we've all loved since, reformed or not. We are intrigued from start to finish of the 2-part pilot episode, and charmed by the rest of the season. The world wasn't afraid to be scary sometimes, and it had a lot of us, even as adults, on the edges of our seats in delight. If Hasbro wants to start targeting an older audience, they're going to have to go back to that level of quality and probably even improve on it. Learn what they did right and what they could have done better. People aren't going to settle for brainless entertainment anymore. They're going to have to make us think, feel, or, heaven forbid, both. I did and still do love the wide variety of characters we got in Friendship is Magic. It made the world feel wonderfully populated and diverse. However, a lot of characters introduced rather frequently kind of got the short end of the stick when it came to development or even seeing any kind of personality whatsoever. Sorry, Cadence. Other characters became fan favorites not due to much going on in the show itself, but because of headcanons from fans outside of the show, like Luna, Lyra, Sweetie Drops, Button Mash, and several other characters. I feel like in order to really be able to create a show that's more relatable, there needs to be a better focus on the main cast. Harry Potter, for example, zeroes in on Harry, Ron, and Hermione, but we still get snippets of other students, teachers, villains, allies, and antagonists that are very satisfying and instantly tell us vital information about each character that we can relate to. For example, I remember Luna Lovegood making me feel ridiculously uncomfortable because I was exactly like her when I was younger. She wasn't even introduced until halfway through the series and wasn't exactly what you'd call a main character, but she still left that powerful impression because her time on screen was never wasted and she wasn't ever simply thrown in as camera filler. Even with her limited presence, we still knew where she came from, snippets of her backstory, why she was the way she was, how she handled how others treated her, and we cared. I want the same thing for the side characters of Gen 5. If you're going to feature them, don't just throw stuff in and throw it away later. Make us fall in love with them all over again. Okay, this point is one of the most important points to get across to the writers at Hasbro, and one of the things I am praying gets to them as soon as possible. Please, 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 Give us not just a consistent villain throughout the series, but a consistent villain who scares the ever-living crap out of us. I want my kids to gasp when they see this villain. I'm not talking design-wise. Bellwether from Zootopia was so unassuming in her design that her reveal was deliciously diabolical. You don't have to have this killer edgelord to have a good villain. Just give us someone we can root for our heroes to prevail against. Like I said, don't be afraid to be scary. Don Bluth, the creator of so many of my favorite movies as a child, believed that children could handle just about anything as long as there was a happy ending. I would be overjoyed if that philosophy was applied to Gen 5. Show us that times are hard sometimes and that it's okay. Show my kids that life isn't going to be all rainbows and sunshine, but that they can get through it. You give me a show like that, and I guarantee you will get a fandom that will last forever. This point is something I'm actually rather sad about because it shouldn't have to be brought up, but here we are. Hasbro. Part of the reason we love Friendship is Magic is the same reason Dungeons & Dragons, The Mandalorian, Wolf Walkers, and hundreds of other fantasy movies, books, and franchises are so popular right now. They don't take place in a world like ours. Fantasy is used as an escape from everyday life. Equestria Girls and Pony Life both weren't as big of a success because they were too similar to our world. Don't try to relate to the kids by copying what they live through day in and day out. Play to their imaginations, spark their creativity, whisk them out of the drudgery of school, social pressures, and real-life expectations, and allow their minds to look beyond social media, homework, and schedules. The true mark of genius is imagination. Don't play down the magic. Let it run loose and let us as fans run with it. You won't regret it, I promise. The most important thing any character in any story needs is a goal. It doesn't have to be big or complicated. Frodo Baggins just wanted to go home for goodness sake. But every character needs a goal and every goal needs to have an obstacle. And I'm not talking about taking things from episode to episode or even season to season. There needs to be an overarching goal for each main character that lasts throughout the entire show. We as viewers need to have a reason to root for our characters more than just because they're cute. Harry Potter deserves to have a place where he feels loved. The Mandalorian needs to keep the child safe. Frodo has to destroy the ring and go home. This was a pretty dang big thing that was missing from Friendship is Magic, and I think the writers at Hasbro have a huge opportunity to take something we already love and turn it into a hardcore franchise that could be even bigger than it was in 2012. Call me an optimist, call me a dreamer, but I do sincerely hope the writers creating this current series implement these 5 points into the new series. If they do, I might even be able to look past the soulless merch designs or if the CGI for the show is less than optimal, because I fell in love with the characters themselves, the struggles they face, and the stories they told. In short, give us something real, Hasbro. If you can do that, I think we as bronies could help you turn this into something earth-shattering. What are your thoughts? What key elements would you like to see in Gen 5 that perhaps weren't there in Gen 4? Leave your ideas in the comments below. A special thank you to my awesome patrons, Director Shadow, Ramdigijam, Kira Ledmu, Rocky Harmony, Sakura the Kirin, and all of my other supporters. You guys are absolutely amazing. Stay fluffy, my friends. See you next time. Chances are, if you're seeing this video, you've seen my other video commenting on the 2D style that's been leaked regarding My Little Pony Jennifer. Moving forward with MLP Gen 5, there are a few things that I'm going to ask Hasbro. Hasbro, mate.